Thank you. My name is Chris Harris. I'm from District 1, and I'm urging you to vote no against the contract. Probably one of the few people as a data person in the room that appreciated all those spreadsheets, at least back here just now. The one question I'd have is I wonder if they're accounting for the inevitable millions this city will spend in police brutality lawsuits over the course of the next contract. And I say that really to kind of make it plain that we have an issue. You know, the talk about best practices you heard from DeRay and Sam and Ranjana, that's not just academic. According to Campaign Zero, we have the #1 police murder rate of all big cities in Texas since 2013. When you look at the FBI UCR non-negligent homicide data from 2013 to 2016, 13% of murders committed in Austin over that time period were by the police. The Center for Policing Equity, along with the Urban Institute, came out with a study last year that showed that for every 1% increase in black population in a neighborhood in Austin, you had a 2.6% increase in use of force. It doesn't sound like a lot, but what that means is that the difference between less than 5% black neighborhoods in West Austin and upwards of 60% black neighborhoods in East Austin is 140% more use of force incidences. And what we hear from the police chief is, trust me. He says that, you know, with the tools in place and the current proposed deal, you can trust him. He'll deal with accountability. Then the question was asked, okay, what about the promotional bypass? They say, city negotiators say, we don't need to deal with that in the contract. The chief has the ability now as policy to bypass people for promotions based on previous conduct. But then when asked tonight about whether or not he would use that under 143 if there was no contract, he said, well, if people are passing the test and they're not getting promoted, it might hurt morale. How are we supposed to trust that? And again, in a city where we've got serious use of force and police brutality incidents. And I think that it's really important that we understand. We've heard some of the really heart-wrenching personal stories. I thank David Joseph's brother, Mark, and his mom for coming. And the stories about Morgan Rankins. I mean, obviously, the names can go on and on. Jason Roque from earlier this year, Nathaniel Sanders, Kevin Brown, Larry Jackson Jr., we have to have something different in place in this town. The time is now. This is only once every 5 years. If we don't do it now, many of you won't have another opportunity. So this is your chance, and I really implore you to take it. I want to end with another number, which is 1. I've counted exactly one person who's spoken in favor of this contract tonight who was not in law enforcement. On the other side of this, you've heard from an amazing cross-section of this community, representing not just criminal justice advocates, but people that work in public health, in mental health, in academia, in legal, in civil society, in environmental issues, all coming to you with one clear message, which is we must vote down this contract, and we must begin to rethink public safety in this town in a new way. And you have an opportunity to do that tonight. And so, again, I implore you all to take that opportunity to seize this moment. It's a moment that's not just local but national as well. And to seize this moment and to vote no on this contract. And I believe in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.